Hello and welcome to Soccer Bytes. Super Eagles coach Gernot Rohr has released a list of 25 players to prosecute the Corsica and France friendlies. This list has been raising lots of debates, especially with the exclusion of some key players. But an explanation has come out as to why those players have been excluded. Precisely, Victor Moses or Genyo Nazi. Of course, we all know about Mikel and the China Legion, who are definitely left out of this one. The list is out, and before we go to it, let's welcome Segun Agbede. Segun, welcome.
Hi, Josh.
One highlight of that list is the inclusion of 4 home-based players.
Yeah, well,
excited?
very excited. Ikechukwu Ezenwa is a regular in the team, but I'm hugely excited by 3 young home-based talents who have boast like 1,000, stars in the constellation this season. Stephen Ode and Sikro Latubosu, who've been doing it in fairness since last season, but the stars really shone brightly this year. And a young lad, Al Hassan Ibrahim of Aqua United, who's quite decent.
The people are asking questions about Al Hassan. You've been to the Nesta Champions a couple of times.
I've seen him play.
Can you really say that Al Hassan deserves a call up?
I've seen him play. I've spoken to him, and I love the young lad. He modeled. He said he told me his favorite player is Juan Kokanu, and he has a bit more physicality, even though he's simply frail of stature. He's determined. I saw him play against FC Fayuba in a game now. Fayuba were leading 1-0 and were desperate to hold on to their 1-0 advantage. But he took on about 3 defenders in the box, and even though he was being tugged and shoved, he still got his shot off and scored a very well-deserved equalizer for me. As I said, these are the 3 brightest talents in the league, and I'd like to use this platform to say thank you to Gernot Rohr, because we had him on our show Monday Night Football and our radio program as well, Sports Zone, and I had a bit of time with him, and I did mention these players, and I'm sure that the chief coach, Salisu Yusuf, had a look at them as well. I think Gernot Rohr was at an MFM match too, and saw right. Sikiru and Stephen play up front and personal. So I'm happy he listened, and I'd like to stress to people it's not that these young lads are going to walk right into the Super Eagles first team, but I was sick and tired of hearing, they'll play for Chan Eagles. That's like, you can go so far. It's like telling a child you can.
That's your limit.
That's your limit. You can go to university, but BSc you can't do your masters. What's that? Or you can finish your work in flying colours, but you can't get into university. Why stop if they deserve it? And now they'll have a chance to train with them. And that's all I want for these young boys: exposure.
All right. So this list it was explained by Tony Bitoye yesterday. That it's for the Corsica friendly. The team, the players are expected to get into camp on May 24. They actually will be playing Corsica on May 24. So the game against South Africa is not until June 10th. So that brought about the question of why Victor Moses and Genyo Nazi were left out. And the explanation given is that would you say it's a just one?
Well, the truth of the matter is that you can argue. You can argue it any which way, but for me, I choose to look at it as Genyo Nazi. He's the vice captain.
That's right. And
Victor Moses, we all know Victor Moses. They're both probably as solid, rock solid starters. Definitely cocksure to start. So if you know what they can provide, why not use free up some spaces for the X factor players, so to speak. And for me, I'm more than happy about the 3 outfield MPFL players that are there, So for me, this is a chance. Stephen Keshi of blessed memory took that risk in, when we won the Nations Cup in 2013. And I feel that under Gernot Rohr's very educated eye, wake up, eat together, train. It's a marvelous opportunity. And it sends out all the right signals to the MPFL players that, if you train hard, if you give your best on the pitch, you will get an opportunity rather than picking obscure names around Europe.
Let's quickly look at the list itself. Ikechukwu Ezenwa of Ifeanyi and Dele Alampasu, who plays straight in Portugal, are the only goalkeepers invited. What do you think about that?
Well, I think we're a bit light in the goalkeeping department. Ikechukwu Ezenwa is a decent keeper. For me, it's someone I've known personally. I've seen him play several times, right from when he was in Sunshine Stars. I was at a game in Kano where he pulled off several saves, to pull off a draw for Sunshine Stars. Then I think that was the first time Kano Pillars had dropped points, they say, for quite some time. But I don't really feel that he's up to the Kali Keme, Vincent and Yaman level.
As it is now, he's going to be number one.
He'll be number one. And Dylan Rampasso for me is untried. He's keeping for a club in the lower ranks of Portugal's professional league. So I don't know. I don't know what's happened to Nairabet, but apparently Nairabet doesn't really seem to instill that much confidence in various coaches.
We hear that this is just the list for the friendly. So,
but in fairness, it's experimental, and I actually spoke to Ghana. Rob, this is an invitational tournament.
Okay.
Held every year. So I think last year, Ghana Rob told me that Burkina Faso went or something like that. So the island of Corsica is an island of France, and they tend to have they're very independent minded. Yes, they're part of France, but they like the Catalonia in Spain. Catalonia too has its own standing national team. So
they're closer to Italy.
Yes, they're closer to Italy. So it's an all expenses paid trip for the Super Eagles. So it's a good, from Paris, once in Catalonia, the accommodation, food and the game itself. So I think it's an experimental, should I say, selection and a wonderful opportunity for players who are not necessarily in the coach's plans.
Okay.
Who knows to register.
Let's still look at the list. Let's look at the defenders now. Leon Balogun, William Trost, Uche Agbo of Granada, Abdullahi Shehu, who now plays straight in Cyprus, Tyrone Oboehe of Ado Den Haag, Elderson Echejele of Sporting Gijón, and Chidozie Awaziam of FC Porto. Anyone missing in that defense? I know that Ken Otomero is not in that defense.
There's not Obaba, for whatever reason, seems to have fallen out of favor with the national team handlers as well.
Yeah.
But it really depends on your club. At least the one advantage we have now, and it's a song I've been singing about having a foreign coach, is that you tend to feel that anybody that is called up on their merit, and not for some reasons that can't stand up to scrutiny. So okay.
All right, midfielders Wilfred Ndidi, Ogene Karatebo, John Ogu, back with the team. Mikel Agu, the guy with Victoria Setúbal. I heard him speak yesterday on his call-up. He had a little knock, but he just confirmed that he's fully fit. And Al Hassan Ibrahim Yeoman as well. Of course, like we said, or like we all agree, this is just, this is not the main. Well, this midfield though. How do you see the invitation of some of the players? John Ogu.
John Ogu for me he's a player I have a lot of time for. I think it was quite unfortunate that he missed the plane to Brazil in 2014. I think there were players that he was better than that actually got on the plane.
Of course, lots of players.
Lots of players. So I said, well then, what can you say about Wilfred Ndidi? You can't hide your talents. He had a breakout season, and this was a season whereby he joined Everton in January, where they were similar at their lowest ebb, and it's part of the resurgence. Unfortunately, one man's meat is Leicester, one man's meat is another man's poison. Ahmed Musa was Ranieri's meat. But unfortunately, Shakespeare is not. It's not Shakespeare's meat
at all.
It's
speaking of Ahmed Musa, of course, he's invited as well. Kelechi Iheanacho invited, the 5 minutes man of Manchester City.
The problem now is that we have like 3 players in our forward line who have had very little football. Kelechi Iheanacho, Ahmed Musa, Alexander Iwobi.
Alex Iwobi as well. Moses Simon, we don't really know how he's faring in Ghent. We hear he hardly starts matches, but definitely a good player when he comes on. We also, of course, Stephen Ode as well. Kayode Olarewaju seems to be the name on lots of people's lips now. We hear he might be leading the attack line. Of course, we know we don't have no John Ihalo anymore. He seems to be someone who could step into it. He's bagged a couple of goals this season. Isaac's success as well. Are you monitoring his progress with Watford?
Isaac's success is not playing regularly for Watford. He's a player that has all the attributes to be successful, pardon the pun. But I hear he's also a player that has attitudinal challenges.
Wow.
That's what I hear about him. And he's had these challenges right from when he was playing under 17. So it will serve him well to knuckle down and don't let, using another pun, don't let success go to his head.
Don't let his name.
Yeah, don't let. He should bear his name, but he shouldn't allow his name to shack him too much. You know, should play ball. You know,
all right. It is a relatively young attack line. Nairabet. I don't know. He got only one goal prior to his invitation for the last game.
That, you know, yes, I think you did mention Olaino.
Olaino and Alex Iwobi, we hear will be joining up after the FA Cup final on May 27th. Victor Osimhen and Sikiru Olatuboso are the other two.
You know, from what I hear about Victor Osimhen, one of the most naturally gifted.
He was supposed to get his first start for Wolfsburg last weekend. I think he did. Came in at some point, but just one game.
I don't mind if he's as talented as we think he is.
The injury problems, really.
Injury problems, and I think he should rock and roll. I mean, look at Kelechi Iheanacho as well. He's not played that much for City, but anytime he's played for Nigeria, he's answered the call. If I remember right, he got a cracking goal against Tanzania when they were determined. And I was telling people that the Tanzanians would approach that match with all seriousness for pride, and they did. I was in Dar es Salaam when we played the goalless draw, and we were quite lucky, to get away with the goalless draw. It wasn't a case of 2 points drop; it was 1 point gained, and they wanted to do the same, frustrate us in Uyo. So and he grabbed the goal.
I remember the goal as well for
well outside the 18
for against.
Oh, in Dola, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. Yeah. So yeah, we I think General has a lot of work to do, but he has the raw material, so to speak.
All right, finally, so what is this France and Corsica friendly going to? You think it's going to be a very good build-up? Warm up for, of course.
The major thing
South
is,
Africa.
For me, as I said, life is all about opportunities. Now it's left for these young lads, both home-based and foreign-based players, to seize that opportunity, to impress the coach. And when you are battling for your places, there was a time. It's so sad that Big Boss, he created a system that you had to fight your place, and that's what we used to win the Nations Cup with Sunday Mbah scoring the winning goal. But after that, I hate a situation where some players just feel that you can walk into the team and pick a shot. So it has to be a system of the best player picks jersey, no matter what. A situation of excellence over mediocrity. So once we have that, then we are good to go.
All right, so that's what we expect this friendlies to bring out the best. And so that on June 10, when we file out against the Bafana of South Africa, we would have the best legs in Uyo. And we say get well soon to Mikel, the captain, who recently underwent surgery. We wish you a speedy recovery, and we don't know if he'll be back in time. Surely not. But even if it's not,
he served his country well.
We trust that Gernot Rohr, who Shegun has so much faith in, will get the job done for us. We'll be right back on Soccer Bytes.